You guys can see what I'm hiding over here, my toy doll collection. Top tier Steelies and Patreonies. You guys get to see it. I'm trying to hide it from other people, not because I'm ashamed of it. I'm only slightly ashamed of it sometimes, but mostly it's because I feel like dolls creep people out. You know? I grew up with seeing women have like doll collections, you know? So it's something that is normal to me, but I feel like it's not normal to a lot of other people, and like dolls freak people out. So kind of like clowns freak people out sometimes, you know? So I try to like cover it up so people aren't bothered by it. But, all right, what is up, top tier Steelies? Thank you for joining me. I want to talk about something that I feel like I can't talk about on YouTube because I don't want people to be like, oh, you're a hater. I'm not hating. I'm happy for all these families. I mean, I'm still married. A lot of these people are divorced. I'm just being honest, which is fine. If it don't work, it don't work. But, but they've had families. And so I want to talk about the interracial swirl couples that have had children, that have had larger platforms on YouTube, and they've ended up breaking up, right? And a few other well-known interracial couples who have also divorced, were together for a while, and they were public figures, the both of them, right? Shared their relationship and or marriage with us, have also divorced, even the ones without kids. I want to talk about why I think that is. And the Black Lives Matter protesting was happening a month or so ago. This was the first time that a lot of these interracial couples addressed race or racism. And I think that, and a lot of them are Black women, because I don't really watch the other way around as much because I don't relate to that experience. It's more of a common experience. I've seen that a lot more growing up than I did Black women, white male couples. I think that they're not addressing race because it makes them uncomfortable. They don't have a lot to say about it because they don't know a lot about it, because they don't know a lot about themselves. And they're in these relationships where they're trying to fit in and acclimate to a white partner and not having it be this give and take. And eventually that wears on them and they want to part ways, right? And that doesn't mean like, my husband's not like dancing to hip hop. Like, he doesn't like wake up in the morning and like start dancing to hip hop, to like acclimate to my culture, right? But what he does do, for example, is knows that I prefer to buy products from Black owned businesses. And so as much as I go out of my way to buy from Black owned businesses, my husband also, especially when he's buying something from me, he tries to make sure that it's from a Black owned business. Okay. That's one of the things that's the least you can do, because naturally we're going to be giving to white businesses. You give to white businesses naturally. So it's like, try to do a little something for my community. My husband has been to rallies with me. He's been to protests. He's been to panels, right? About race. We've talked to therapists about race. And I think that if I was with a Black man, that we would have separate other issues to deal with. Probably mostly colorism and classism. Right? I feel like these couples just aren't honest about race, and because they don't know a lot about race and they don't care. And that's why the kids are confused. That leaves these kids confused. A lot of times they'll talk about how they feel confused and they feel left out. It's because the parents are left out. If you don't feel like a part of a particular community, chances are because your parents don't feel like a part of that particular community. Right? And I see that a lot with these Black woman, white male relationships, where it's like the woman is trying so hard to be a part of white community. If you're white, that's great, but I'm not going to force myself into anybody's space. I'm going to stay in my own lane. I'm going to go wherever the hell I want, but I'm not going to expect community from people who haven't shown me that. They started talking about like racial experiences that they had. And they're like, I was followed around in the store. And it's like, yeah, sweetie, that stuff happens. It don't happen that much to me. I'm gonna be honest, because I don't live in, I live in the tri-state area. It's a pretty diverse area, even though maybe the town I live in isn't diverse. It's not. But like, I don't go to stores in this town. I live here. That's where my home is. You know, if I want services done, I go to the city because I live close to the city, and therefore I can work with people who are used to and comfortable with working with black women. I'm not gonna be jumping into spaces and hoping for the best, you know. But I know better about this stuff now as I've gotten older, and you know, after a lifetime, a childhood, a lifetime of being in PWI spaces. So, but these women are the same. Most of these women grew up in PWI spaces as well, and it's like, sweetie, you're not tired of portraying something you're not. You're not tired of, like, I'm not saying they all have to be cool and hip or whatever, but it just seems like such a performance when I watch them sometimes. That's why I can't watch them. I don't watch these, you know, I told you, I don't watch the divorced dads, the divorced dads with biracial children. I don't watch that. I don't know how y'all can watch that. It's like, dude, good job. You took care of your kid for the weekend. That's your job. I don't care. Like, how do you make money off of that? How does a man make money off of taking care of his kids for the weekend? You know, the show was about the family. If y'all not a family no more, then let the woman keep doing what she's doing. Like, don't you have something else to do to support your family besides putting your kids on display? I don't agree with it. Jackie Aina talks a lot about feeling like the family is sacred, it's off limits. And that's why I don't talk about my husband. I don't talk about, like, no. The reason I'm talking about my siblings is because they disrespected me. So just be honest. You disrespect me, I'm gonna talk about you. You know, my husband understands that, and he tries to make things right with me, unlike most people. If you don't make things right with me, I'm gonna talk about it on YouTube. So, also I feel like they're trying to placate this, like, liberal idea. I feel like a lot of the tension that interracial couples face nowadays is, like, because the woman is, because this doesn't happen in black men, white girl relationships. They don't care about race. That's from what I've seen. They don't care about race at all. They don't want to talk about it. She don't want to talk about it. He don't want to talk about it. The end. It's only the black women are like, yeah, you chose me, but, you know, what about our race? And I, you know, I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, okay, but this is something that concerned me before I got with you. So let's keep it 100. But at the same time, did I go as hard about it at that time? No, because I was younger. As I got older, it was something that I felt like, I'm a teacher of kids, and I'm seeing the effects of anti-blackness and oppression and racism still affecting these kids. And now we have a problem, because I thought that it was just something that I had went through and that we were progressing. And from the state that a lot of these kids are in, it's clear that we're not. So that's one of the major reasons I decided to keep talking about this stuff. There's no man that I do it for. It's for myself, it's for my future children, and it's for the children of America. So I feel like they're trying to, like, impress their, like, uber liberal friends and be like, oh, like, I feel like people try to make me feel bad about the fact that, like, my husband is white. You know, they're like, he's white. He's white, the end. There's nothing tangy or special about it, right? Like, what's something special about it to me because he's my husband. You don't have to like him. And he doesn't have to move the way y'all say move. And he doesn't have to grow a beard to, like, make you trust him. You don't have to trust him. He's my husband. And whoever I bring to the table is trustworthy, always will be. I definitely feel that. And, you know, don't have a relationship with people like that anymore. And that was family and friends doing that shit to me, being like, it's okay that black men and white women are together because that's just how it is. But, like, your husband is white, so, like what? So did I transform into a blonde chick? I'm a dark-skinned, unambiguous black woman in America. And you want to tell me there's something I should be apologizing to you about because my husband is white? I ain't got shit to apologize for. Never have, never will. But I feel like a lot of these other women are apologetic. They're like, sorry that, like, I married a white guy, when it's like, it's time for us to not be about white guys. Like, get the fuck out of here. I've never been about no type of guy. Guys are about me. You want a woman to marry you? You ask her to marry you. Period. End of discussion. That's how it works. Those are really the two main causes, is that I feel like they try to leave racism off of the table, and that they're kind of apologetic for being with who they're with. I expected my husband to be successful at what he does. That's one of the reasons why I chose to, you know, agree to be with him when he asked me to be with him, right? It's like, I'm happy about that. I'm proud about that. I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. You want me to be like, you know, and it'll be even white people will feel that way, you know? And I'm like, go save it for your daddy. What is you telling me that I gotta leave my man for? It's not happening. So I think that we need to do the work, but I think that we also need to be unapologetic about what we choose to do with our lives. And we don't have to explain anything to anyone because it's none of their business. As long as you're not hurting yourself and others, then it's nobody's business. I've had people in my life want to date and or be in relationships and or be around people who have shady records. Literally a shady record. That's now we're getting into dangerous territory. Okay? You think that person's so great? That's great. You go off and be with them. But they're not going to be invited to a family dinner with a shady record. So I'm bringing someone around who does not have a record. Right? Has only ever had a speeding ticket. And like 2. And you want to compare that to bringing around people with shady records? No. No. Oh, look at that.
It's another bike riding vlog. Yeah. So I'm still the only YouTuber in the world that can do this. Yeah, so we like to ride bikes, as you guys have seen in the videos. We like to ride our bikes like pretty late so that, oh my God, look, a deer. You scared it, you son of a bitch. That's just one of the many deers that come out to play. That's another interracial. I don't know if you guys are you used to seeing deers? I grew up in a town that had a lot of extra deers. Hubby really likes to go places that usually have a lot of deer. So we'll probably see more deer as we're on the way. We're just gonna go on a quick ride. It'll be dark when we get back, but it'll just be getting dark, so I don't mind that. Anything going on in my life so far? I had to have hubby adjust the seat on this bike because as I will be talking about with you guys, I'm going on a healing journey for my hip area. Found out that there's a lot of problems going on, as I suspected for many years. So now we're moving to get those problems solved. So.
All right, that's really it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.